This is Mariette from the Business Champion Show. Every week, I sit down with people who build our communities, small business owners, dreamers, and doers who turn challenges into opportunities. Their journeys remind us that success is about heart, courage, and connection. Join me as we celebrate the champions among us, right here in Connecticut and beyond. Visit thebusinesschampion.com and be part of our growing community. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to the Business Champion Show. I'm your host, Mariette Kammerer. And today's topic is more than a paycheck, what employees really want and what keeps them inspired. Every industry runs on people, not just the ones on the front lines, but the quiet ones behind the desk, the dependable ones who show up, and the ones who hold it all together when the pace is relentless. Today on the Business Champion Show, we talk about what truly keeps employees inspired because it's never just the paycheck. It's appreciation, purpose, and the simple truth of being seen. So let's get started. In our first segment, we're going to meet Maria. She is a nurse in a walk-in clinic in Shelton, Connecticut. Now, as you know, the healthcare business is a fast-paced industry. We had that in one of my other shows. So here's what Maria said. Maria has been with a busy walk-in clinic for 7 years. She juggles long shifts, difficult patients, and mentors new nurses, rarely taking a break. During Employee Appreciation Week, management gave everyone the same mug with the clinic logo and a note, "Thanks for your dedication." What the employer did, they acknowledged the staff collectively. Quick, generic, and well-intended, but hollow. What the employer should have done. Maria needed to feel seen, a personal thank you from leadership, recognition for her mentorship, or even one paid day off would have said, "We notice you, we value you." I am asking, who do they have? The higher ups. Who do they have that come up with these hollow ideas? A mug. We don't need any mugs. We got enough mugs at home. I am asking you, whoever is in HR, whoever makes these decisions, what the heck is the matter with you? Can't you come up with anything else, such as what I just said? It is the fine thoughts, the fine thinking about everything. But you have to have a company culture. So when you sit in a seat and where you take orders from somebody else, it all depends on the culture. And that's why you maybe look at a catalog and say, "Oh, okay, that costs XYZ. We have 20 employees, and I'll buy 20 mugs, and that's whatever." Get out of here. That's horrible. That's really horrible. And what we really take away from that is in fast-paced environments, appreciation needs to be personal and timely, not a group photo once a year. I'm saying to you, ownership and HR people, Maria needed to feel seen. A personal thank you from leadership, recognition for her mentorship, or even one paid day off would have said, "We notice you, we value you." So that's what you got to do. But we're moving to another industry in segment 2. And I met Thomas. He's a very quiet accountant. Thomas has worked quietly for a small accounting firm for 15 years. He's one who catches the errors that save clients thousands, yet his boss only speaks to him during tax season. We know how that goes. At the annual meeting, everyone was thanked as a team, no individual recognition. So, what the employer did, assumed that steady employees don't need attention or feedback. Think about this. The employer thought and assumed that steady employees don't need attention or feedback. What the employer should have done, Thomas should have been acknowledged for his consistency and accuracy. A handwritten note, a public thank you, or the chance to mentor younger accountants would have shown his precision matters. That's just incredible. You know, people never talk about this. And I know accounting firms, the head person is absolutely wonderful. She's a gem. And she's had all the accountants working for her for a long time, 10, 15, 20 years. And I know the people personally too, but it trickles right down from the top. And this accountant, which happens to be my accountant, they're absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Um, I can't say it anymore. And they would not be sitting there for 20 years if she was. And I know she has a wonderful human touch because I know how she treats her clients. So the takeaway from this, silence can feel like invisibility. Even quiet workers need to know their excellence is noticed. I'll repeat that. Silence can feel like invisibility. Even quiet workers need to know their excellence is noted. Yes, ma'am. And that's why I have programs like that because I believe in all of that. Never mind this collectiveness. Everybody no, individually need to be acknowledged. Individuals need to be acknowledged. Okay. Now, for segment 3, it's the hybrid community-based workplace. And what is a hybrid community-based workplace? It's one that blends both steady routines and fast-paced moments centered around direct human interaction. These are places like pharmacies, clinics, nonprofits, or local businesses where employees serve the public daily and become part of the community's rhythm. Appreciation here isn't just about rewards, it's about personal connection, recognition, and consistency between words and action. So let's find out about, I talked to Janelle, and she's the heart of the pharmacy. Janelle works at a local pharmacy in Wilton where she greets every customer by name, listens to their stories, and brings calm to the chaos. The owner often says, "You're like family." So, but new hires received raises while she didn't, despite her loyalty and service. So what the employer did, used kind words, but didn't back them up with consistent action or recognition. Folks, whatever people tell me when they speak, I listen very carefully. And then I watch their action, their behavior. And then I really know if they're true, if you can really deliver or you're just giving me a bunch of nice words. I would do that automatically. I don't even have to think about it. Okay, you say you're going to do something or you're giving me a praise. How do you really treat me? That's what I watch out for. So should you. So the kind words, he didn't back them up with consistent action or recognition, as I said. What should have been done, a one-on-one acknowledgement, a title upgrade, or featuring her as customer favorite would have shown that appreciation isn't just emotional, it's earned respect. So the takeaway from this is appreciation isn't just kind words, it's consistency between what you say and what you do. I have to tell you something. Just because you carry the title boss, BOSS, or owner, doesn't mean you're really grown as a human being. meaning that you're mentally and emotionally with it. Because you only do what you can, what your knowledge is, and what your personal growth allows it. And if you're a good person and you've been growing and you show appreciation, especially for the people that work in your business that you built, and it took you a long time to build. So the staff is everything. The staff is everything. When I built my business, I I didn't I first of all I had no need for employees. That's number one because I was still building it. So, and then I built it in such a way where I worked with other professionals. So they were not employees, they were other professionals that could complement my work. So I personally never had employees. Um, and it's okay. It just works out for me that other subcontractors just work out better for me. But I'm telling you, I know how hard it is to build a business until you get there, till you take off, meaning till you can open up the doors and you have a rhythm. So, and to meet the right kind of people that give a darn when they get up in the morning and come in and work with you all day long and are consistent and good and work the way you want them to work, that means everything to me. Because they can kill your business 1, 2, 3. So not every boss, BOSS, or owner knows the right thing to do. Bear that in mind too. But I'm asking you as a boss and as an owner to get with it because your employees are the most important to keep everything afloat and not to destroy it. That's why your biggest asset, the employees. You've got to take care of them. So appreciation, I'm repeating it again, isn't just kind words. It's consistency between what you say and what you do. So every workplace has its rhythm. Some move fast, others slow, but all depend on people who give more than they have to. When leaders remember that, everything changes. Appreciation is not a holiday or a mug on a desk. It's a language of respect that says, you matter. You're tuned into the Business Champion Show. I'm your host, Mariette Kammerer, and in today's show, we're talking about more than a paycheck, what employees really want and what keeps them inspired. And let's continue with our stories. And I made them industry specific. And that all has a purpose. And I will tell you that before we sign off. So again, more than a paycheck, what employees really want and what keeps them inspired. So let's get to know Lena. She's a talented graphic designer at a small marketing agency. She consistently delivers projects early, often reworking clients' drafts late at night. When her designs win a regional award, her boss posts about the agency's creative excellence on social media, but doesn't mention her by her name. I'm like, okay. Or even tell her personality or sorry, misspoke, or even tells her personally that her work was recognized. So what did the employer do? He used Lena's talent as a reflection of company success, but failed to directly credit the person behind it. And I have to tell you, somebody would do that to me once, and I don't care what it is. I'll be looking for a new spot. You couldn't do that to me anyway. But other things can be done. I've been self-employed for a long time. Other things happened. But when somebody takes credit for somebody's excellent work and doesn't recognize them, You know what type of a person he or she is. What the employer should have done, the boss should have highlighted Lena's contribution publicly, invited her to share in the recognition, or given her a say in future creative direction. True appreciation would empower her voice, not hide it behind a logo. So if your employees make you shine, let them share the light. Recognition loses meaning when names are left out of the story. And I'm moving on to the next story because something like that, I would have much more to say, but we're limited on time. Anyway, we're moving to Sam. He's a maintenance worker, the blue collar trade. Sam has worked in maintenance at a manufacturing plant for over 20 years. He's the one who keeps machines running through night shifts and emergencies. When a major breakdown was avoided because he spotted a safety issue early, management said, "Good catch," but moved on to the next crisis. No one mentioned it again. What the employer should have done, acknowledged his effort in the moment, but never followed up. The culture valued output over people. And now I'm telling you what the employer should have done. Leadership could have had leadership could have shared Sam's story at the next staff meeting, given him a safety award, or simply recognized that his diligence prevented costly downtime. Appreciation doesn't need ceremony, just continuity. So behind every smooth operation is someone whose good judgment saved the day. Don't let that moment fade unnoticed. Let's meet the school secretary. A story from Denise. She has been the front desk secretary at a middle school for 18 years. She's the first face students see, the calm voice parents trust, and the quiet organizer behind every event. During Teacher Appreciation Week, the staff room fills with flowers and treats, and no one includes Denise because she's not a teacher. What the employer did? They unintentionally excluded one of the school's key people by focusing recognition only on teaching roles. Okay. What the employer should have done. Leadership should have broadened the celebration to include everyone who supports the learning environment, especially staff like Denise, who hold the school together daily. Even a small gesture, a note from the principal, a public thank you, or a shared breakfast would have said, "We see you too." So the takeaway on the story is sometimes the people who make the biggest difference aren't in the spotlight. Appreciation means widening the circle, not narrowing it. And that makes me mad. It makes me sad. And if I can, not if, I will bring attention to this. Not only because I'm talking to you today on television, but I go into companies and I talk about, and I ask them, what do you do for employee recognition? And I will talk about this. I will talk about this because that is important. That woman, Denise, is one of the most important people. She sets the tone. She welcomes everybody. It's just really incredible that, well, that's what I'm saying. Some of the minds, they just don't function properly. So one more story, the IT specialist. Ray works in the IT department of a large corporation. Whenever systems crash, he's the one called nights, weekends, holidays. He fixes problems quietly, but when budgets are reviewed, his department is described as a cost center. The company celebrates sales teams, not the people who keep everything running. So what the employer did, treated technical roles as background support rather than strategic partners. What the employer should have done, company should have have showcased Ray's problem solving in staff meetings, offered cross department visibility, or tied IT success metrics to company goals. Recognition would transform him from a fixer to a valued contributor. So the takeaway is when people only call you when something breaks, appreciation means showing up when things work and saying thanks to you, it does. You know what? I worked for I had Life Talk with Mariette and the Business Champion on a major radio station for 18 years. And we had a gentleman who I met years ago when I first started in the business. He worked for another station, and he is really the background person that makes all of this work. And first of all, the several radio stations within the company. The floor is incredible large, and all the different TV stations and their equipment and everything. And they call him for everything. His name is Ed, and Ed makes it possible. And he does work day and night. And he's responsible when something goes wrong, somebody can't get on air, or they have static, or they need to try out new technical things and how to include it into shows and all of this. And I met Ed several times, and it's incredible the knowledge that they have and to fix things. Just to get on air, what it takes. Everything has to sound so smooth. But I've done live shows, and live shows never totally go smooth. So whether it's from the broadcaster side, the guest side, or especially the technical end. So I appreciate a person like Ray who works in the IT department. I appreciate a person like Ed in our broadcasting, in our radio company. I appreciate you because I know what you got to do, even though I don't know exactly. I don't have his knowledge, what he does. That's not what I'm saying. But he can make things a lot smoother. He can fix things. And there's nothing like when you have shows before you get on the air, what goes wrong during the show, after the show, and then they don't know about the problem right away. And I could do a series of shows on just that. So I appreciate you. So again, I want to repeat the takeaway line. When people only call you when something breaks, appreciation means showing up when things work and saying, thanks to you. A little strange, isn't it? When people only call you when something breaks, appreciation means showing up when things work and saying, thanks to you, it does. Oh. Oh, well. Oh, well, all I know is you got my highest appreciation. Same to all our TV producers who bring us on the air. And we have several stations we work with. And I want to thank you very, very much. So in today's show, More Than a Paycheck, we've learned that appreciation isn't a bonus or a slogan. It's a daily practice. Maria reminded us that in fast-paced workplaces, people need to be seen, not just thanked once a year. Thomas showed us that even the quiet ones who keep everything running deserve to be recognized for their steady excellence. And Janelle reminded us that words like family only matter when they're backed by fairness and consistency. Remember Janelle? She works for the pharmacy. Every business has its heartbeat, and it's the people who show up, care, and give their best each day. When we lead with gratitude and respect, we don't just build better workplaces. We build trust, loyalty, and pride. Because in the end, success has never just been about paychecks. It's about people who feel they truly matter. And yes, everybody truly matters. And never forget that. So, till next time, I'm Mariette Kammerer.